Very proud of my team tonight. I think we won a fair number of games this year, but this might be this and Providence are, I think, two highlights to this point. That's the first place team in our league, and at the time Providence was the first place team in the league. Obviously the challenge now is to go into their rink tomorrow night and try to play the same. And I thought the thing I liked about tonight was I saw our team mature pretty quickly. We had a very specific way we wanted to play tonight, and we challenged our guys to rise to that level, and they did. And they did an excellent job. And I thought the first period we looked a little tentative, maybe a little respectful of our opponent. In the intermission, we talked about having more poise with the puck and more possession, and try to have the puck more, make better puck decisions in the second period. And I thought we were really good in the second period, had a couple real heavy dominant shifts in the offensive zone, scored the goal by Chafee, and then another really good shift where we penned them in and got us a power play, and we were able to convert. Power play, I thought we only had 1 out of 7, but I really liked our power play. I really liked it for a while now. As I said, these young kids are getting comfortable. They're realizing what they can do and what they're capable of. So power play is good, and the key tonight for us was to stay out of the penalty box, and we did. And that was a very well officiated game. I have a little issue with 2 of the penalties. The 2 major penalties to me are we'll be sending those into the league. Those things aren't necessary, but they're signs that we were able to frustrate their team, and that was our game plan.
You mentioned the way your team matured. Will tomorrow night be a test of that as well, of how you handle coming off of a big win?
Yeah, and we knew that would be the case, where you're going to get nights where we're overlooked, especially because Northeastern swept Maine last weekend, and then Maine beat us. So they're probably figuring, okay, this team's very beatable, but at the same time, everybody knows every night either team can win. But the way we played without the puck, our focus and attention to detail was very good tonight, and that was the challenge that we placed on our players. And again, if you play that team up and down the ice, like we got sloppy there at the end, then they're getting breakaways, and that's luckily it didn't happen until 3 minutes left in the game. But that was our game plan, was to make it a tight checking game, and we checked very tight in the offensive zone and did a good job pinning them in. It was just a pretty complete game for our group, and then with the goaltending, we've challenged our goalies to raise their level, and Matt did a great job tonight. I thought not a ton of high-end scoring chances, but he looked like a calm, steady goalie. Even pucks from the outside, you want your goalie to look comfortable making those saves, and he did tonight.
Was that important for him to get him in the mindset you want him to be in going for the rest of the season?
Yeah, we need a goaltender to step up, and I don't want it to be a tough decision every night who to play in net. I want them to make the decision for me, and practice isn't always the best way to evaluate your goalies. The games are, and like in Maine the other night, we played tremendously well, and lost, and that wasn't the goalie's fault. I mean, it was the Maine goalie's fault, but our team deserves solid goaltending. The way they play, they deserve solid goaltending, and they got it tonight. And I think if we can get solid goaltending, we will win a lot of games down the stretch.
What did Murray display that led to putting him in net tonight?
It was his turn. We've kind of back and forth for a while. I think we gave Wish 2 games in a row, and it was his turn to show us. And
Do you think he'll play tomorrow too?
I know he'll play tomorrow. I checked with the coach. He's going.
Anything more for Coach?
Coach, Chafee obviously with 2 goals, but do you think that second line was just feeling it tonight, just in the offensive zone?
You know what? Chafee and Chow, a little under the weather, especially Chafee. I think the key for that line right now is Jake Gaudette. His game has really come along the last 3 games. I really challenged him. He's a big kid. He's strong for being a big, lanky guy. And I've asked a lot from him through the last half of the first semester, and then the last 3 games I think he's been great. I think he's been the force that I think he can be, and that helps those other 2 guys who've been very consistent offensively. So Chafee's, it's just real impressive what he's doing. He was a checker in the USHL last year that didn't play a lot of minutes, and he's come here and he's taken advantage of great opportunity. And he's created those opportunities. He plays big and heavy and hard. He's a young kid in this league, and every night he stands out. And that's it's great for him, great for us.
Do you feel like your bottom 6 forwards are starting to?
Yeah, that's the real nice thing. You're getting Suter, Plevy, Nico Hildenbrand. Those guys are scoring goals here lately, and that's huge. So we've said that we needed depth scoring and we needed better goaltending. So when you get both of those, you get the results that we had. And they can't be overlooked how well our defensemen played tonight too. They sacrificed. Mario Ferraro took a shot in the hand, and Kale, and right through all of them, really playing extremely well to limit that team. And I thought our D-zone coverage was excellent. Our commitment to playing in our own zone, which isn't fun, but our guys, they did it well tonight.
What does fending off the number 1 power play in college hockey mean for the defensive units, Progressive?
Well, they only had 2, thank God. That was key, but I think our power play looked pretty good tonight too. But that was probably our number 1 focus point tonight, was to play real well without the puck so that they couldn't get power plays. And obviously it's tough to go a whole game without giving up, without taking any penalties. But 2 is, if you told me before the game you're only going to take 2 penalties tonight, I would have paid you a lot of money to make that come true.
Coach, you kind
How
of.
much? Sorry.
Coach, you kind of alluded to in your opening statement, but would you call this the biggest one of the season so far?
I think so, because it's at this point in the year where we're getting into the stretch against a team that's at this point in the year 2/3 of maybe at least halfway through the season is first place in our league. And I think they, the games that we watched, I think they beat Boston College 6-2, recently, and they swept a good Maine team. So they're a good hockey team. So this is I feel it was good to beat Providence because we found a way to win. Tonight we soundly won that game, and that's the difference for me. That was a pretty complete 60-minute game. You had 4 lines playing well, you had defense playing well, you put discipline, you had your goaltender playing well. That's as complete of a game as we've had from our group. So that's why it's a highlight for me.
You've been through some of these second half runs for Hockey East. Is this the kind of game that you need as kind of a jumping off point?
For sure. I mean, you look at where Northeastern is in the standing right now, and that's a huge win for our program. I mean, you look at our schedule right now, it's Hockey East, Hockey East, Hockey East. It's tough, but that was a really unbelievable game with the guys. Everybody did their part, and that's a huge win for us.
Mitchell, what was said in the locker room between the first and second periods, or what got you guys going?
Yeah, we knew we had to pick it up. We knew we could be better. We just went out there and started executing more. Doesn't help that they took a lot of penalties, and we kind of capitalized and stayed even keel. So,
Matt, what does a game like this do for your personal momentum to play as well as you did?
I'd say it elevates it greatly, especially after the past few games. Being able to get a win like this and a performance like this really helps personally and team-wise as well.
To get that to stop that breakaway at the end, is that kind of a nice cherry on top to kind of give you something to carry over now going into your next one?
Yeah, I'd have to thank the left post on that one. That he saved me there pretty good. But yeah, that just shows how the game went. Like once we took control of the momentum, we got the luck on our side as well at the end there, and I feel like we took that game.
The left post is male.
If you want it to be.
You have a closer relationship.
I don't know.
For you guys as a whole, you're in the midst of a lot of games in a short time period. Does something like this give you energy at a time that it would be easy to get fatigued?
Yeah, I mean this, especially winning. I guess winning always helps more, but we know we have a lot of games, so a lot of it's recovery. We know that right after a game that we have to bounce back whether we win or lose. It's huge that we gotta always recover and look forward to the next game.
Mitchell, do you feel like you were kind of exactly where you're supposed to be for both of those goals?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, just helps to be in the right spots and try and got lucky on thanks good pass by John, but we've been practicing a lot about that, and we just went out there and executed.
Mitch, you feel like your line was particularly in sync tonight?
Yeah, I felt that we were clicking tonight. I mean, it was a great job by Chow and everyone. It wasn't just our line; it was the whole team that was clicking tonight. So
Matt, to get some saves right away in the third period after not seeing a lot of shots in the second period, is that something as a goalie feels good to just kind of reestablish that momentum after a somewhat quiet second?
Yeah, it's good. It's good to get a couple tests in early, especially in a close game like it was at the beginning of the third. I feel that if the play wouldn't have went that way and we would have gotten a little bit lackadaisical perhaps, but I think for the most part everybody stayed on their game and everybody played the way they should have been.
Austin, does a 3-goal lead seem drastically different than a 2-goal lead, especially when you stretch it out in the beginning of a period like that?
I think so. I mean, I think you look at a team like Northeastern, pretty skilled team, a couple of leading scorers in the league, maybe the country. You got to respect that, and they can pop a couple pretty quick. So that was our huge focus, was play smart defensively, and like anything, like our defense leads offense, and that was good. We broke out of our zone clean, got in there, forechecked them hard, turned it over, and it led to another goal. So that was a nice cushion to have.
Matt, was there any intimidation going up against the number 1 power play in the NCAA?
I wouldn't say intimidation, but I was just prepared for it. Like you know what they have in their arsenal, and you gotta research and study them and make yourself as ready as you can be for what's coming at you.
What kind of zone do you have to get in to be able to fend that off?
You got to be locked in. There's no room for error, especially with a team like that, with the power they have there. You got to be 100% or nothing.
Awesome. It was just nice to get back home after over a month. They're just playing.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, it's not even like we've been on campus too. We were gone for almost all last week. We got back at like 4 a.m. on Wednesday morning. It was a long trip, so it's for sure. It's nice to be back in the Mullins, and we had a great crowd tonight. Even with school not going back yet, so we appreciate everybody coming out. But definitely nice to play back at home for sure.